So the first thing that you have to do if you want to become sought after is you have to solve a SPICE problem, a specific and substantive, pervasive and persistent, immediate and insurmountable, clear, conscious and contrarian, expensive and expansive problem. You have to solve a problem that your clients have been unsuccessful at solving on their own. Because when you can solve that problem and you are able to, in solving that problem, make people feel whole and not treat them like they're broke or broken, people will desire more of you.
You're listening to the Move to Millions podcast with Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon, the place to be for high-level conversations about all things millions. Your mission, mindset, methodologies, mandate, movement, messaging, marketing, metrics, and most definitely your money. I am your host, spiritual business growth coach, Dr. Darnyelle J. Harmon. Join me each week for inspiring stories, powerful interviews, and business growth strategy to help you experience abundance in your life because of your business. If you're ready to move to your next level everything, let's get this party started.
This episode is powered by Move to Millions Live, happening May 24th through 26th in the Washington, D.C. area, or virtually online. If you are a millions-minded CEO, this is the only event you need to plan, prepare, and position your business for the $1 million mark. Stop what you're doing right now and go to movetomillionsevent.com to secure your seat. If you are new around here, first and foremost, welcome. Welcome to season 4. Welcome. I'm so delighted to have you join us on this Move to Millions movement. This podcast, as you will come to learn, is about so much more than your business. It's about the spiritual principles and mindsets that govern the way you show up, and the mindsets and principles that often keep us from the success we crave and pray for inside of our businesses. Now, we have one mission, and that is to normalize wealth, legacy, and abundance for today's six-figure entrepreneur. Oh, and I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about impact. I'm talking about you, incredible one, shaking the planet. We created the Move to Millions method, which is our proven framework to get you from 6 figures to 7 figures. And I want to gift you that just for being here with me today. If you go to movetomillionsmethod.com, you can get your hands on a powerful tool and resource that will start you on that journey to making, moving, and leaving millions. Now, it's a new season, and as a result of the season being brand new, I have lots of thoughts on my mind, lots of things I want to say. And so I want to talk to you in this episode about what just happens to be our theme for Move to Millions Live, sought after. So let me tell you a little story. About 3 months ago, I was in my favorite place to commune with God. I don't know if your shower is like my shower, but in my shower, the Holy Spirit don't be playing. He speaks loudly, profusely, consistently. And so on one of those moments when I was taking a shower, God starts speaking. And often whenever God is speaking to me, he will just give me a couple of words or a phrase. And that's all he'll leave me with to figure out on my own how I'm actually going to do anything with what it is that he's given me. And so I'm in the shower, minding my own business, handling my business. And out of nowhere, I hear this small whisper, sought after. Of course, he whispered it. I'm not whispering it now. But I just keep it moving. I get out of the shower. I'm toweling off. I'm starting the process of getting dressed. And I hear it again, sought after. By the time I had myself fully dressed and I'm walking out of my bedroom and heading downstairs, this is when our offices were still adjacent to my home, me and my husband's home in Newcastle, Delaware. We've since moved into our workhouse, as we're calling it. By the time I got to my desk, walked past my executive assistant, said good morning, sat down at my desk. I heard it a third time, sought after. I then began to have a conversation with God. I'm like, God, are you trying to tell me something? What is it about this phrase, sought after? And then it hit me as God began to reveal to me that was going to be the theme for Move to Millions Live. I know it sounds nice, right? It sounds cute. It's It's what we probably all desire. If I were to survey 1,000 entrepreneurs right now and ask them what is the one thing that they wish they were that would make a difference for them taking their business to the next level, I promise you, by and large, they would say they wish that they were sought after. And so when God said it 3 times in a row, and I actually began to listen and let it seep into my spirit, I got really excited. And, my first checkpoint, you guys probably don't know this about me, but whenever I hear something really good and it tickles my spirit and I get excited about it, the first place I will often go is to my clients, to my Move to Millions Mastermind clients. Shout out to the Move to Millions Mastermind. And so I went to the mastermind and I said, I am thinking that the theme for 2023 Move to Millions is sought after. What do you guys think? I got met with emojis and gifts that were basically telling me I was on point, that what I was suggesting, what I was hearing, it gave them a visceral reaction. Like, that's one of the first ways you can know that you are on to something really great, is when you have that visceral reaction. I believe that our body keeps score. I believe that everything we could ever possibly need to know is in our bodies. And if we are paying attention to what our bodies are telling us, we can get the answers to just about anything we could possibly want to know. And so I'm having this visceral reaction. The clients are having this visceral reaction. God is doing cartwheels because he's like, yes, that is what I desire for you in this season. That is what I desire for my children in this season. And I just really started percolating. What does it mean to be sought after? And so that's what we're going to have a conversation about today. We're going to talk about what it means to be sought after, because what I know for sure is that business change when you are sought after. I remember a few years ago when I was booked and busy and bankable, right? Most people out there are booked and busy. I was that, but I was also making crazy bank. I was everywhere speaking. I had this omnipresent quality that really felt like it came out of nowhere. Now, I know it didn't come out of nowhere because I've been studying to show myself approved. I've been working on who I am in the world, the work that I do, and constantly refining and amplifying that work. And so I know I had been putting in the work to create the environment for me to be a sought after speaker. There are a lot of people who have that in their bio, and I ain't mad at them. They're speaking it into existence, right? They're speaking those things that be not as though they are. But for me, I was actually sought after at this particular point in time in my business. And so when we come back from the break, I want to walk you through the keys, the threads that ran through that particular time in my business. And I'll also tell you the story about why I personally made a decision at that time to cease to be sought after and to focus on some other things. I'll see you guys in just a minute. Let's take a quick break. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make millions. You don't have to apologize or downplay your desire for them either. What you need is preparation. Let us prepare you so that when you cross the $1 million mark, it's a dream come true, not a nightmare you can't wake up from. Hi, I'm Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon, the host and creator of Move to Millions Live, happening May 24th through the 26th, 2023 in the Washington, D.C. area. Our 2023 theme is sought after. Here's what I need you to know. There is a wealth transfer underway, and it is time for you to rise up, answer the call, and position your life and business to make millions. Millions are your birthright, and to access them, all you need to do is move. Move to grab your ticket right now to join us for Move to Millions Live at movetomillionsevent.com. You're listening to the Move to Millions podcast, and today we're talking about being sought after. It just happens to be the theme of Move to Millions Live, happening May 24th through 26th in the Washington, D.C. area. And just before we went to break, I started telling you a story about a time in my business when I was sought after. The year was 2015 and 2016. If you've been listening for a while, then you know that these years coincide with the first time we had a business at the $1 million mark, right? I was everywhere. People were literally coming out of the woodwork, inviting me to speak at their event. I don't even know how they heard about me, but they heard about me and they wanted to hear me share what I had learned, what we had accomplished up until that point. It was a really, really powerful season. Now, I am going to share the 5 keys that I identified as I look back on that period of time and the things that we are doing again to reinstate, because I'm having a year. It's just starting, but I'm already having a year that is bound to be one that is filled with sought after moments. I personally made the decision back in 2016 to step away from being sought after. Now, I'm going to do a whole other episode on the podcast. It's also some of the language that's in my book that's forthcoming later this year. We're just a little bit away from actually being able to share a place for you to go get on the wait list so that you'll be able to get a copy of the book as soon as we make it available. But I made the decision back in 2016 to step away from being on the road as much as I was. I was literally on a plane to see somebody, to talk to somebody about something every 4 to 5 weeks. I had massive ear infections happening at that point in time because of the constant altitude change that happens when you're constantly in a plane, right? And I have a deviated septum. It was a mess. I had also met the love of my life, who is today my husband. And I remember one time he was taking me to the airport and he said, "You're leaving me again." And it just made my heart sink. And I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to shift my business so that we're in this new relationship, I can really protect it and set a foundation for it so that when I am at the point where I have to be away from him, we kind of have something undergirding us. It's not like I'm just constantly running off. I knew people who at the time who had either just gotten married or gotten engaged and then gotten unengaged, all because they were gone too much, right? And I didn't want that. Not after being in my 40s when I finally found the love that was going to take me until my sunsets, right? I definitely wasn't trying to do anything to make it turn away. And so I made a personal decision to really shift my business model and to shift the way that I was showing up at that particular point in time. And if you've been here for a while, it coincides with the time when I decided to stop chasing the number and instead decided to just focus on chasing purpose. And as a result, the business, it wasn't $1 million company for a few years, and I was totally okay with it. But there were 5 things that as I reflect back, as I'm preparing content for Move to Millions Live and thinking about and serving our clients who have desires to become sought after and spend more time out and about amongst the people as the center of attention, there are really 5 keys that you need to be thinking about now and begin to position yourself and your business for if you desire to be sought after. I'm going to introduce you to them here. You'll definitely want to join me in May, because in May, I'm going to break down how you can create a plan to be sought after while still having a life that serves you and a business that serves you both financially and spiritually. I believe today that being sought after is about flow and not flex. I believe today that the way that you build a business that serves you in every way is to be authentic and genuine. And we'll talk about that more in a minute as well. Okay, so first let's jump into the keys. So if you desire to be sought after, and if you definitely desire to be sought after, I want you to make sure that you leave me a content or slide into my DMs at Darnyelle Jervey Harmon so that we can talk about it. So the first thing that you have to do if you want to become sought after is you have to solve a SPICE problem, a specific and substantive, pervasive and persistent, immediate and insurmountable, clear, conscious and contrarian, expensive and expansive problem. You have to solve a problem that your clients have been unsuccessful at solving on their own. Because when you can solve that problem and you are able to, in solving that problem, make people feel whole and not treat them like they're broke or broken, people will desire more of you. Second important key is that you have to demonstrate your expertise, validate that the problem that you solve it unlike anyone else. And when you solve this problem, it creates a predictable result for your client. You have to be able to demonstrate that expertise through your client's success. See, this is the one time when you tooting your own horn is not going to cut it as much as you tooting your own horn because of the work you've done for others. You have to remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which says that every single one of us is looking for a place to belong. The easiest way to find a place to belong is to hear stories of other people who are just like us, that experienced a problem that we have, and also experience the results. So when you demonstrate in your expertise via your client's success, that will help to make you sought after. Third important key to becoming sought after is holding a contrarian viewpoint. You have got to be saying that something that no one else is saying. You have got to be going high when they go low. You have got to be going left when they go right. You have got to appear different because your pinnacle client is programmed to notice what is different. And if you sound like every other talking head in the marketplace, then your clients are going to hear want. And that is not what you want if you're after being sought after. So you're going to have to get that contrarian viewpoint and you're going to have to exploit it. And what I mean by that is once you figure it out, you have to become a broken record, sharing that as often as you possibly can in the marketplace for other people. Fourth key is to engage wherever your pinnacle clients are gathering. So it's not enough just to be busy. You want to be busy where you can be seen by the people who can make an investment in themselves through you to access the solution that you are known for, that you've gotten others result for, and that makes you sought after. So you're going to have to get out where people can see you. And then the last key kind of ties into that, but it's slightly different. You're going to have to become omnipresent. Omnipresent is the ability to be all places at once. Now, this is where systems and support come in. You hear me talking about the Move to Millions method and the component strategy, sales, system support, and success mindset. This is where your systems and support really come in as it pertains to you becoming sought after. Omnipresence is only going to be as possible as the amount of systems and automation you have in place. We all only have 24 hours in any given day. How you're using them, how you're maximizing them, how you're leveraging them is going to be what makes the difference for you and helps you to get to your next level. Now, I, again, believe that being sought after is about flow and not flex. So that means you're going to have to be real. You're going to have to be genuine. You're going to have to be authentic. You're going to have to be likable. You're going to have to be human. If every single moment of every single day you are a filter on Instagram, you're probably not going to be sought after because people will be able to see through that. You have to keep marketing 101 in mind, which says that people buy when they know you, like you, and trust you. So you're going to have to use your platform to share things about yourself that are personal but not private, to engage with your community in such a way that they feel like they get to know you, so that ultimately you open up a place for them to see themselves inside of the solution that you offer. And as a result of that, they look in your direction to be experiencing that particular result. So again, you need to solve a spice problem. You need to demonstrate your expertise via client success. You need to hold a contrarian viewpoint. You need to engage wherever your pinnacle clients are gathering, and you need to be omnipresent. We're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we're going to round out this episode on being sought after with a few final thoughts. I'll see you in a moment. Do you have millions on your mind? Well, I would like to invite you to join us for Move to Millions Live. Our 2023 theme is sought after. This is the must-attend event for $1 million CEOs and $1 million CEOs in the making. If you are ready to plan, prepare, and position your company for more, then you need to get your ticket today to movetomillionsevent.com. Welcome back to the Move to Millions podcast. We've been talking about being sought after. And just before the break, I was sharing with you the 5 keys that I've identified and observed over this period of time of actually being sought after, having experienced it and watching it and play out over and over and over again. Now, here's the thing that I want to leave with you before we call this an episode. The complexity of trying to scale often means you're doing too much. But when you are sought after, it's really about becoming a broken record and holding the same space every time you enter the marketplace. It's about finding that contrarian viewpoint and riding it until the wheels fall off. It's about every time you're given an opportunity or a platform extension, meaning someone else shares their platform with you, you are saying the same things that you want to be known for. So that's the first question I want you to ask yourself. If you desire to be sought after, what is it that you want to be known for? And then I want you to just do a quick self-assessment. Is what you want to be known for what others would observe when they were to take a look at you and how you show up online and offline if you have any of that collateral for offline? I want you to ask yourself that, because that's one of the things that's going to need to change. There are a few other characteristics of sought after CEOs that are going to be important for you to embody as well. And I want you to notice that I'm using the word embody, right? You have to be it already. You have to be it to become it. We had a great episode with Eric Loers about being it to become it on last season of the podcast. So a couple of characteristics for you. Number one, sought after CEOs are consistent. What does your consistency game look like? Are you showing up for yourself? Because here's the thing, if you're not showing up for yourself, will you show up for your clients? Consistency is really key to becoming a sought after CEO. Sought after CEOs are liked. Now, people may not always agree with them and what they say, because often when you take a contrarian viewpoint, you're going to ruffle some feathers. You're going to upset some people. You might downright piss people off. And even when that's what you're doing, people like you. They feel like they can't get enough of you. And sought after CEOs are confident. They exude confidence. You already know my saying. Your confidence will close more sales than your skills ever will. Now, we know that we live in a fake it until you make it world. Like, I don't know if everybody out there who's getting out of a private jet or a Bentley actually own them. We live in the land of pretentiousness, but being pretentious will not make you sought after. It will make you replaceable. And here's what I need you to know. Being sought after is going to be an indication to those who are seeking you out that you are answered prayer. You are exactly what they have been seeking God for and have been unable to find until you showed up consistently and came into their purview. They will be praying for you. They are praying for you right now. So before you leave this episode, I want you to be able to answer that question for yourself. What is it that you want to be known for? Let me state it this way. I want you to finish the sentence. If I were to show up fully and consistently in this particular area, fill in the blank, I would be sought after. What goes in the blank? What would allow you an opportunity to be sought after? Because you are answered prayer, because you solve a problem, because you demonstrate your expertise through your client's success, because you hold a contrarian viewpoint, because you engage with your pinnacle clients where they are gathering, and because you have done the work and your due diligence to set up the systems and the automation to be omnipresent. Now, online, this looks like being on every platform, but not necessarily being on every platform. You don't have time, if you desire to be $1 million CEO, to be sitting on Facebook or Instagram. You don't have time for that. But there are enough softwares and products where you can schedule out content or have members of your team to schedule out content in a succession that consistently delivers that message that you want to be known for. Again, broken record. That's what being sought after is all about. Becoming a broken record and holding the same space every time you enter the marketplace. Here's what I know. Right now, there are people looking for you. There are people praying actively for the problem that you solve. They don't know you exist because you haven't taken the time to be consistent and to show up confidently for that one thing. There is a reason why so many people talk about the importance of drilling down to one thing. And it might go against everything you believe as an entrepreneur. If you're a multi-talented, multifaceted entrepreneur. But there is a reason why we drill down to one thing. I still remember in 2018, when I was at an event and someone asked me, what is your movement? And I couldn't give them an answer. because I wasn't sought after at that point. Sure, 2015, 2016, I was. I decided to step back in my business, stop chasing the number, fired a lot of clients, revenues went down, everything got called into question. My confidence waned. And as a result of that, I didn't know by the time we got to 2018 what my movement was. I didn't have a movement. There was no way I could be sought after if I didn't have that one thing. I didn't have that movement. I didn't have that vision and mission that was calling me forward. But once I got that in 2020, you guys know the story. Third day, breakthrough in business, God says, move to millions as I'm getting ready. And that was the beginning. And that was October the 22nd, 2020. Since October the 22nd, 2020, we have helped 17 CEOs cross the $1 million mark. When I tell you I'm not playing, I'm coming for my sought after ability. I'm watching it show up. Literally this week, someone called me and was like, listen, I don't care what it's going to cost to get you to speak at my event. I need you there. I've had people slide in my DMs. How can I get you at my event? Because I'm solving a spice problem. I've demonstrated my expertise through my client success. I hold a contrarian viewpoint. I engage where my ideal clients are gathering, and I am omnipresent. I am consistent. I am light, and I am confident. What about you? Because here's what I know for sure, incredible one. Your ability to be sought after is completely up to you. It's time for you to decide. Are you going to show up fully and be it to become it? Or are you going to continue allowing bright, shiny object syndrome or following the trends, being pretentious to keep you in flex when God created you to be in flow? I'll let you think about that. Until the next time we meet, take care.
Thank you for joining me for the Move to Millions podcast. The way I see it, you deserve a business that generates millions. If you're ready to get started, grab our Move to Millions Quick Start Guide and join our online community at movetomillionsgroup.com. If you enjoyed our time together, do yourself a favor, head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. Until next time, remember, millions are your birthright, and to access them, all you have to do is move. I'll see you next time. Take care.